then warehouse and facility location and network design. The next is vehicle loading and unloading and the routing methods. The next is lead time compressions and their lead time component and their compression. And the most important part, use of information technology for your supply chain management. And the last one is supply chain sustainability in business management. So these are the basic content in case of your module number 2. So today we are going to discuss regarding distribution management, how distribution management will impact on supply chain as well as your business management to maximize profit through the network design, through those different type of channel generally used in case of distribution management. Moving to the first slide. So in case of, if you go to the distribution management, the most important thing is you have to understand the concept of distribution systems. If you go to the point number 1, in economics and distribution related to all allocation to the recipient. So as far as concerned with the distribution systems, it directly deals with your economic, which is related to distribution of good and product and good or product and services to different allocation of number of potential customers. In general, distribution include all kind of activities that enable transfer of raw material and or economic power for tangible or intangible good from one economic subject to another. The next part is the distribution and encompass a system of all activities that are related to the customer of economics good between manufacturer and the consumers. The next part is it includes such a coordination of preparation of manufacturing good according to their type, volume, space, and the time, so that supply chain deadlines can be met and or that can be estimated in efficient or satisfying manner. So as far as concerned with the distribution system, as I told in the 4 point, it directly go to the all activity who enables economic power in case of tangible or intangible goods or services. So basically it is a economic subject which is directly related to distribution of good and service to the potential customer, how the business will be increased through the more distribution network. A few case study we have going to be discussed in the upcoming slide. As far as concerned with the Umfed dairy industry, as far as concerned with the Jara garment industries, as far as concerned with the Walmart distribution management, how they impact on customers through the delivery mode, through the different type of distribution network. Moving to the next slide. So in case of distribution system, the distribution system are usually divided into 2 types. The first one is acquisition distribution systems, and the next part is logistics. So as far as concerned with the supply chain management, as I told, in case of supply chain management, it is a management of interlinked business network. So that interlinked business network is directly indicated in case of acquisition distribution system, and the next one is logistic, that is known as a physical distribution system. If you go to the definition of this particular distribution system, in case of acquisition distribution system, which includes management of distribution routes, that is distribution channels. So as you know, there is vertical channel is there, horizontal channel is there, and some traditional channel is basically used in case of Indian scenario for the distribution of product and goods from one place to other place. The next part is that is known as your logistics, that is it is otherwise called your physical distributions, in focus on bridging the space and time by the transportation and storage as well as ordering the process, shipment. The next is logistic activities, that is the movement of material from different source to the other source. These are basically content, the most important thing, the source of raw material, then the transportation route, the next is carriers, which is generally employed for transportation of goods from one place to other place. Now moving to the next one. So in case of distribution channels, the term distribution channel can be a movement that can be replaced by marketing channels. Though these are very much equivalent terms, but the thing is that in case of marketing channels, as a more complex term is used in US during 1970s, because the intermediate include not only those participate in the physical flow of product. For example, who are the participant? The carrier, the mode of transportations, the source of raw material. These are directly involved in case of physical flow of product from the manufacturer to the end users. But also those that have the role of transfer product ownerships, as well as the transport corporation, the transport companies, the transport proprietor, they are also in case of intermediated institutions that participate in value distribution from product to consumption. So suppose you are a owner of a transport industry, you must also participate for value distribution to the number of potential customer for consumption of goods. So it should be directly concerned as far as in case of distribution channel, that directly starting from the source of raw material to the plant, then plant to the inbound logistic by the help of inbound, and next part is your warehouse, which is plays outbound logistic activities. Through that outbound, that should be reach up to the number of warehouse, then warehouse to number of distribution hubs, and distribution hub to number of outlet, and finally it should be reach up to the consumption level at customers. The next part, if you moving to the next one, then the next is types of marketing channels. So there are three types of marketing channels. The first one is communication channel, the next is distribution channel, the next is service channels. So if you go to the wide scenario of marketing channel, the distribution or marketing channel are the system of mutual dependent organizations. So you are not coordinating the marketing as well as the distributions. What will happen? These are directly hampered in case of making profitabilities. So due to that situation, so there should be mutually dependent in case of organizations. Whether should be a steel industry, whether should be a process industry, whether should be a chemical industry, that included the process of making good and service available for use or consumptions. So moreover, marketing channel is the external contractual organization that management operate to achieve distribution objective. So through marketing objective or the contractual engagement of external organization in the form of marketing channel, the management operate to achieve distribution objective. That is the concept behind marketing channel as well as the distribution. So moving to the next one. The next one is type of distribution channel. As you know, this is already divided into two types, that is direct channel and indirect channels. So if you go to the definition of indirect channel, the producer or manufacturer sell their good directly to the individual consumers. For example, in case of agri product, the farmer directly sell in case of market. So this is known as direct channels, or as you take is a traditional channel. So in that case, I just repeat that particular definition. In case of direct channel, the producer or manufacturer, they sell their good directly to individual consumer, while indirect include as a trading company as well. Next part is if you go to the indirect channel, that can be both.
Sir, one example.
Which kind of? I've already told in case of agri product.
Achha.
Okay, agri product. Suppose farmer directly bring the agri vegetables, so foods directly go to the market. In that case,
Sir, any online business?
Online business, for example, in case of you can take the best example in case of that is the Jara company directly contact with your customers in case of who place order of a special design. In that case, in case of fashion world or fashion organization. The next part is that in case of indirect channels, that can be both short and long. So only one trading company is included. Here I give the example of trading companies. It is included in case of short channel, usually in case of retail companies. In case of long channel, there are two or more intermediate, wholesale and retailers are there. So in case of indirect, it directly go to the retailer's side. In case of short channel, in case of long channel, they provide, or there may be some intermediate. For example, wholesaler is there, a retailer is there, stockist is there, super stockist is there, different outlet is there. So these are the basic example as far as concerned with the distribution channel and your indirect channels. Moving to the next one. The next important part, that is the structure and operation of distribution channels. So if you go to the different structure and operation of distribution channel, first you have to understand the concept behind what are the different functions provided by the distribution channel. The first one is the distribution channel perform a number of functions that make possible the flow of good from producer to the consumers. They directly indicate the distribution perform in between manufacturer and customers. So these are the functions must handled by someone else in the channels. Who are handled? The wholesalers, the distributors, and the retailer. They are play as an intermediary who can handle the particular function to provide or to better flow of material starting from the producer to consumers. The next part is through the type of organization that perform different functions can be vary from channel to channel, and the function themselves cannot be eliminated. The channel provide time, place, and ownership utilities. So as far as concerned with the company objective, the distribution channels network should be vary from company to company, and their policy should be different. So according to that policy, this particular channel or distribution channel provide the time, place, and ownership. For example, in case of time, when demand is on peak side, in that case, you have to better coordinate in between the marketing as well as the distribution network designed by the company itself. The next part is place. Which place you can maximize your profit. This is the most important part. The next is the ownership utilities. That is why the company is directly assigned carrier and forward agencies. In that agency, they play as a super stockist and they provide more amount of incentive discounts. These are play as a ownership utilities as far as concerned with the producers. The next one is they make product available when, where, and in the size of quantity that customer want. The next is last point. The distribution channel provide number of logistic or that is known your physical distributions functions that increase efficiency of flow of good from producer to consumers. And the most important part, in case of structure and operation of distribution channel, the logistic play is a vital role in case of in between your producer and customers. Moving to the next slide. The next function of distribution channel is the distribution channel create efficiency by reducing number of transactions necessary for good and flow of many different manufacturers to the large number of customers. So this occurs in two ways. The first one is known as that is breaking bulk. So suppose in case of supply chain management, there are more number of strategies should be applied. But in case of distribution channel, there is two type of strategy, or you can say that is a few strategies should be applied. One is breaking the bulk. Suppose you are shifting a bulk amount of iron ores or coal or a greater volume of raw material. In that case, you just break the bulk, and you can say that is shifting the bulk, just break the bulk and shifting in a different way. The next is wholesaler and retailer purchase large quantity of good and manufacturer, but sell only one or few at the time of many different customers. The second intermediary reduce the number of transactions by creating assortment, providing variety of product in one location, so that customer can conveniently but many different items from one seller at one time. So that is why most of, if you go to the wholesaler point of view or retailer point of view, they provide large quantity of good from different manufacturers. The customer, if customers reject one particular product, they must go for the another product. So there is no particular number of wholesaler and retailer the customer should be directly go to and avail the particular product. They provide all kind of facilities. They maintain all the quantity as well as the quality of product in a particular transaction that creates assortment and providing variety of product in particular locations. The next, if you go to the yes.
Sir, breaking bull, there is a statement that it occurs in two ways. I didn't understand that.
Breaking the way, for example, in case of Agarwal Movers and Packers, clear. You are sending your car and someone sending their utilities. In case of household utilities, in that case, these are variety of product is there. So it is difficult for transporting in two locations. That is why they just break things. In case of car, they separately ship the particular car. In case of household item, they separately ship the household item to a different location. That means if you collect a huge amount of bulk in variety of product, clear. So why I'm giving the example of coal and mining ore, because the variety of bulk is for a single product is higher side. That is why they choose roadway transportations. If it is more than the larger volume side, they choose the shipway transportation through cargo ships. Even they choose the railways also. So that means the whole amount of shifting the bulk that should be break to different mode of transportation, and through the mode of transportation, it should be reach up to the number of you can say the number of destinations. Clear?
Yes.
Just mute your
Yes.
mics. Okay. So moving to the third point, the transportation and storage of goods is another type of physical distribution functions. Retailer and other channel member move to the goods from the production side to the location where they held until they wanted the customers. So that means what? The transportation and storage of goods is another type of physical distribution. For example, in case of Food Corporation of India. So as you know, in case of most of the, or you can say that the larger producer state like Punjab, they just surpass the target of production of crop. So due to overproduction, they directly send to the FCI. So there are different geographical location across India, and they have to make first one is your transportation through logistic activities. The next part is the FCI provide a huge space for storage of that particular good. So this is a particular example in case of transportation and storage of good in case of physical distribution function. The next is channel intermediary also perform number of facilitating function, the function that make purchase process easier for customers and manufacturers. The intermediary often provide customer service such as offering credit to buyer and also accepting customer return. So if you take the example of Astral pipe versus Supreme pipe, the Astral never go for any kind of discount. Still people are avail that particular product from Astral group. But in case of Supreme, that company provide a huge amount of discount in case of if you go for a single house, if you go for a multi-story apartment, if you go for a commercial building. But thing is that due to that customer service as far as concerned with Astral pipe, their sales ratio is surpassed as compared to your Supreme pipe. So these are the things where intermediate channels, for example, in case of wholesaler distributor, they are the perform number of facilitating function. What kind of facility they provide credit to the buyers, accepting customer returns. These are the things should be considered in case of your distribution channels. So moving to the next slide. So here the typical physical distribution logistics systems, starting from the, if you see in the top of the figure, the supplier is there, that the production system is there, sales marketing is there, and finally it should be reached up to the customer. But the thing is that whenever you manufacture a particular product, they're starting from the raw material parts from a stock level, then work in progress to factory, they produce the product, and then that finished stock should be stored in case of inbound logistics. The next is through the help of outbound logistics in the mode of transportation, it go to the outbound warehouse or storage area. From that storage area, it should be delivered to wholesaler, then local delivery is there, and finally it should be reached up to retailer, the retailer to your customer level. So starting from the finished stock level to transportation, storage, delivery, wholesaler, then local delivery retailer, the physical distribution is play in between finishing stock and retail. That means after producing the particular product from the factory, the physical distribution activities should be going on starting from finishing of stock to the end consumers or customers. Moving to the next one, then the next one is principal component of distribution process. So this is consists of four principal component of physical distribution management. The first one is ordering process, the next is stock level or inventory levels, then warehousing and the transportation. So these are the most important principle as far as concerned with the distribution process. So moving to next slide, we will discuss one by one. If you go to first one, in case of ordering process, the ordering process is the first four stage in case of logistical processes. The efficiency or the ordering process has a direct effect on lead times. So as you know, the lead time is the starting time, it's the time between starting and the end of the process, that is known as lead time. In case of logistics, as far as concerned with your physical distribution, that play efficient order processing, which is direct effect on lead times. The order are received from sales teams through the sales department. So, you know, sales department is responsible for making invoice. So then next is bill of material is there for receiving number of demand information through the number of potential customers, and they make a blueprint for increasing sales and maintain the compression of your lead times. The next is many companies establish regular supply routes that remain relatively stable for a period of time, providing that supplier performs satisfactorily. Very often contracts are drawn off and repeat order. Why repeat order? For example, forming part for initial contract are made at a regular interval during the contract period. For example, in case of, as you know, in case of Vizag steel plant that is under the Authority of Steel Authority of India Limited, they require the semi-finished steel from Tata Group. So that is why they assign different transportation companies for shifting of raw material to one from Tata Group to Vizag steel plant. So that is why, as you know, the company is known as Azure Transportation Private Limited. Around thousands of trucks, multi-axle or larger trucks or cargo trucks should be passed every day in between your twin cities. So due to that repeat order, they made a regular interval during the contract period. What kind of interval? For example, increase the carrier freight, compress the lead time between manufacturer and the end user customer. They also provide, or they also play a vital role, that is they perform satisfactorily to the assigned companies as far as concerned with the Vizag steel plant. So moving to the next one. Sorry. In case of inventory or stock management, as you know, inventories play a vital or critical area of physical distribution, because the stock level has a direct effect on level of service and customer satisfaction. If you not maintain a adequate level of inventory, you cannot be balanced between your demand and supply. So that is the most important thing. The most important aspect of your inventory level is that is optimum stock level. So that is why the purchase department as well as the material department is responsible to optimize the stock level as far as concerned with the demand information which is arised by potential customers. So moving to the point number 2, the optimum stock level is a function of type of market in which the company operates. Few company can say that they are never run out of stock. But if stock happen regularly, then market share will be lost to the more efficient competitors. So due to unavailability of stock, that directly hamper your market share. That is why you have to always conscious about your optimum stock level in case of balance between demand and supply. Moving to the next slide, the most important part that is known as warehouse, which is play a vital role in case of preserve of your good and in case of storing. So currently, many companies function adequately with their own on-site warehouse from where the goods are dispatched directly to the customers. So as you know, if you take the example of Flipkart, they choose the place like Salepur. They made their mother distribution hub, and through that mother distribution hub, they can operate a twin city for more number of dispatch direct to the customers. And when a farm, go to the point number 2, when a farm market goods, they are ordered regularly, but in small quantity, it becomes more logical to locate the warehouse strategically around the country. For example, in case of, if you take the example of Mahindra and Mahindra, in case of India's fast SUV in the form of Scorpio, so due to higher demand of that particular Scorpio, what will happen? The company started more number of resource point or locate the different strategically around the country. For example, in case of Pune, Nasik, for example, in case of Chennai, for example, in case of those things should be, those strategically warehouse should be located, and that should help to place a small quantity of order in that particular geographical location. The next part is transportation can carried out with bulk from place of manufacture to respective warehouse, where stock wait ready for further distribution to the warehouse. In that scenario, if you give the government operated food, the Corporation of India, there are more state level warehouse are there. And from that warehouse, they just breaking the bulk from the place of manufacture to respective warehouse, and where the stock is wait through ready for the physical distribution to the number of customers. So if you take the retail side, this system can be used by the retail chains, except the warehouse and transportation are owned and operated for them by a logistic expert. These are the example in case of Gati Logistic, Excel Logistic, Corporate Son Logistic. These are the best example in case of retail chains who play the vital role in case of warehouse. They provide more amount of warehouse facility in different geographical locations. To move into the next slide. So here the case studies of Indo-Arya Group. So this is a particularly traditional transportation company. They initially focus on only transportation activities, logistic activity. But before 5 years, the company started that due to huge amount of demand as far as concerned the north part of India, they establish a particular warehouse. Just imagine the capacity or then the space they provide. It is equivalent to the double size of the cricket stadium like Eden Garden. And even if this particular group is, as you know, in case of Arya, has become leading the integrating logistics service provider of following company like your DS Group. We have already discussed the case study of ES Group. Even if Apollo Tires, Saint Gobain's, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, and the last one is your MRF. So these are the multinational company who assign Indo-Arya Group for warehouse facilities. And just imagine they provide different type of environment in a single set of that particular warehouse. Just imagine the floors are moisture-free floors are there. They provide a particular temperature for medicines, for agri product, and they also provide that is less use of utility facilities. So due to that thing, it is well connected to your national highway and your Haryana to Punjab. And due to that thing, they can connect the state like Punjab, Haryana, New Delhi, Chandigarh, even Uttarakhand. They well connected. So as you know, most of the medicine company are established in case of Uttarakhand. So due to their climate temperature, it is difficult to preserve those things and distribute those things from that place to rest of the India. So due to that thing, they also hire the space in case of Indo-Arya Group to provide those kinds of facility for distribution channel network satisfactorily. So moving to the next one. The most important thing is transportations. The next, you directly concerned with the transportation. The transportation usually represent greatest distribution cost. So it is usually easy to calculate because it can be related directly to weight or number of unit. The cost must be carefully controlled through the mode of transportation selected among alternatives. So this must be constantly reviewed. So for example, there are three routes available in case of whenever you travel from Bhubaneswar to different places. For example, in case of Raulkela, you travel from your logistic operation should be play in between Bhubaneswar to Raulkela city. So there will be 2 to 3 number of way, one via Sambalpur, one through your Angul. So due to that thing, you have to go for cost cutting. So if you prefer the Angul route, the cost should be less as compared to via Sambalpur. So due to those things, in case of transportation, the most important thing is the operational cost, which is directly involved in case of transportation. For example, the fuel cost, the driver and co-pilot wages. The next is different toll charges is there. So if you prefer the optimized route, you can reduce the cost of transportation. This is the concept behind it. So during the past 50 years, the road transportation has become dominant transportation mode in India, and it has the advantage of speed coupled with the door-to-door delivery. So that is why more number of transportation companies are arise in the past 5 decades. The pattern of retailing that had been developed and the pressure caused by the low stock and holding and short lead time, they made on road transportation indispensable. So due to there is no particular holding cost and the lead time is very much short or optimized lead time, that made the road transportation in an efficient way. The next is when the volume of goods transportation that reaches a certain level, some company purchase their own vehicles rather than use the service of authorized contractors. In that case, I will give the best example in case of your Falcon Marine Export. So before they implementing their own logistic companies, they just hire the third-party agency or third-party contractor in case of transportation activity. So due to higher side of the company faces a higher side of transportation cost. So rather they go for a third-party agency, they choose their own transportations, and they made their own transportation through that particular transportation. The material, the flow of material agents know the flow of raw material should be smoothly operated to different levels. As far as concerned with the local level, as far as concerned with the state level, as far as concerned with the national levels. So here's a typical example. So as you know, the Essar Steel Group, as you very much famous for this particular things. So it is the only steel, that is the first steel maker in case of India launch high performance bulletproof steels. It is the only one company who provide or who produce bulletproof steels. There is no company, even your Tata Steel, no, your Jindal Steel, not your SAIL or Steel Authority of India producing that variety of steels, which can be used in light armor vehicle and protective shield for structures. So basically, they produce for defense activities. So if you go to the authority after commissioning of that particular organizations in the place like Paradip, they engage the Cuttack-based new transport companies, the Farmer Association of the Paradip and port affected land losers, which has engaged in case of transportation. Those who are lose their land in case of Essar Steels, they are directly employed as a transportation of raw material starting from Bodbil area to Paradip area. So due to that thing, the source said, that is the particular report arrived in the year 2008. The source said the farmer body has entrusted the transport work for Essar Steel since 2008. Now the company own huge amount of due for the farmer body. So due to that use, the company is directly reject the particular local transportation agency as well as those who are lose their land in case of Essar Steel. And company started one more policies. If you go to the last point, in Essar Steel, to reduce the transportation cost, the raw material transportation through pipeline. So just imagine, it is the only one plant in case of India, they shifted their raw material through pipeline. And that pipeline produced the semi-fluid of raw materials. That means the iron ore and water should be mixed, and that should be pumped from Bodbil to your Essar Steel plant. And after that, after receiving the raw material, they just filter the water and use in case of utility of that particular organization. They also additionally focus on raw material process improvement, hastening the farm transformation into zero waste company. That is why it is the zero waste company in case of Paradip. Clear? So this is the typical case studies where this steel company is just eliminate the part of transportation in the form of roadways, in the form of railways, and they employed their own logistic through the implementation of pipeline you can say that is underground pipeline. The next part is that the objective of physical distribution systems. So in that thing, the most important things. So before logging this once, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Anyone? Any question from your side, you can ask. Anybody?
Sir, may I have a question?
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, in case of a in case of a business,
Yes.
sir, is it possible to have different types of a distribution channel for different types of businesses? Sir, like
Yes, yes,
HUL, sir, like HUL, for example, HUL, sir, can HUL can have a different type of distribution channel for different kinds of its products?
Yes, yes, yes. For HUL, for Hindustan Unilever, they also hire Indo-Arya Group. As far as you're concerned, the thing is that if you employed a particular transportation company or your question is from distribution channel, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In case of distribution channel, for example, in case of FMCG product, they must employ intermediary.
Yes, sir.
If you take, for example, in case of ITC, okay,
Yes, sir. Yes.
especially in case of selling tobacco, so there is no particular intermediaries there. They can directly make a particular hub and distribute. So it should be vary from company to company, and the distribution network should be vary from company to company. And as far as their company policies, for example, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. The question is that, sir, if one company, one organization is setting different type of distribution channel for different type of products, sir, then the cost of production will be high, and the cost of the price will be high of the product due to the distribution high distribution channel. So
Yes,
can the
yes.
company have an integrated distribution channel for all of these products?
Yes, yes. Company can employ a distribution channel through the mode of distribution strategies. For example, if you take A case study of Odisha in case of Bhushan Steel as compared to Tata Steels. Clear. If you go to the Bhushan side, Bhushan Steel side, if you purchase a single sheet, in case of your roofing sheet, clear, they provide that particular thing by either direct selling or through intermediary. But in case of Tata, you have to order a bulk amount of things. The next part is that if you go to, for example, in case of retail outlet, clear. In case of retail outlet, there are some lower brand is there. For example, V2 is there. In case of Big Bazaar, Buffalo is there. In that segment, if you purchase, they provide some incentive in case of buy one get one offer. But if you go to the Aditya Birla Group, in case of Pantaloon, they never provide those things because they have fixed their distribution network starting from the manufacturer to the super stockist, then super stockist to different Pantaloon outlet. So as you know, in case of different product, the strategy should be vary. For example, in case of shifting of raw milk, the strategy will be same. But the thing is, if you go to the milk product, the strategy of distribution is vary depending upon the geographical locations. That is the concept. I will go through that particular case study in case of cross docking strategy and a hub and spoke model strategy, how the multinational company are focused on the rural market. Clear. So moving to the next one. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you so much.
Sir, I have another question.
Yes, you can ask.
Sir, you have said that for logistic and distribution system, they take help of transportation. For acquisition and distribution system, are they taking any help of any other company?
No. In case of acquisition, that directly indicate in case of there is no. But nowadays, Reliance Fresh has implemented those things. Clear. For example, in case of if you go to the outlet of Reliance Fresh, they segregate those. The agri product, there is a separate department is there for FMCG product, and for grocery item they make a different stagnation in that particular case. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So go to next one. The objective of physical distributions. The first one is improve customer service. The next is reduce distribution cost. The next third one is general additional sales. If you go to the improve customer service, the marketing concept assume that the sure way to maximize profit in the long term way through the maximization of customer satisfaction. So thus, an important objective of marketing effort, including physical distribution activity, is to improve customer service. So whenever you find a potential customers, in that case, you can maximize your profitability. That is the concept behind improving customer service. So this turn produce better sales and profit. The next part is reduce distribution cost. The objective of farms should be reduced to total cost of distribution, not just cost incurred on any one element, or this propose the total cost of alternative distribution system should be analyzed, on which the minimum total distribution cost should be selected. In this reduce the distribution cost, I will give the best example. As I already discussed the case study of transportation of livestock in the form of goat, in the form of fish, that should be shifted from the place like Telangana to Assam. So as you know, in case of Northeast, the consumption rate of fish, fresh fish, is very much higher side as far as concerned with other state of India. So due to that thing, more of the farmers should implement a particular strategy. What strategy? The trucks should be moved from Telangana to your Assam area or Northeast area. The drivers should be changed. The vehicles should be remain constant. So due to that thing, they just reduce the different cost. What cost? The vehicle maintenance cost should be reduced. The next part is your optimization of lead time is reduced. The next part is it should be fasterly and safely delivered, because they made a particular strategy. They put they convert the whole consignment into a swimming pool in case of fish. So due to that thing, they provide better, or you can say the efficient manner of distribution and reduce the cost of distribution channels. That is the concept. Similarly, if you take the local case study in case of Chhatra Bazaar, your food market, there are more number of wholesaler and distributor are there. Clear. So there is no loading and unloading cost would be included. Truck should be reached at Chhatra Bazar, and the distributor will just increase the price 1 rupees 50 paisa, even 2 rupees per kilo, and that truck should be shifted to another place. So due to that thing, they just eliminate the part of loading unloadings. Here, the next part is the truck should be should not be remain constant in a particular location. They should be moved from the distributor level to few minutes after that. That should be released to the next location or next destination. The next part is gathering additional sales. The physical distribution system in a farm is to generate additional sale, and the farm can attract additional customer by offering better service at lower price through the improvement in the physical distribution product. So in this generalized additional sale, it attract additional customers by offering better service. So as I told, most of the time, if you choose in case of air condition company like Blue Star, they provide more additional sale. How the sale will be increased? They provide one facility. They provide sales after service will be free for 3 years. So if you purchase that particular air condition for Blue Star, they will provide in case of 3 year free of service, sales after service, in case of household, in case of corporate, in case of institute, in case of company also. So due to that, you can say that is better service at a lower price, or that also improve your physical distribution of product. So moving to the next one. The next is objective of physical distribution system. In that physical distribution systems, the creating time and place utility, the physical distribution system also aim at creating time and place utility in the product. Unless the product are physically moved from one place, moved from place to origin to the place where they are required consumptions. They do not serve any purpose to the user. Similarly, the product have to be made available at the time they need it. So this particular point, that creating time and place utility, so due to, as I told, in that particular livestock distribution network, in case of Telangana farmers or any agri farmers, the most important thing is that should be delivered in a timely manner that enhance customer satisfactions. And then most important is the place of utilities. The place of utility play a vital role. So if you not provide those particular product in a particular place, the customer will diversify towards other outlet or other wholesaler. That is the concept. The next is price stabilize. The physical distribution may also aim in achieving stabilize in case of price of product. It can be achieved by regulating the flow of product to the market through the judicious use of availability of transportation facilities and compatibility of warehouse operations. So if you take in case of vegetables, especially the case of onion, so as you know, the largest producer of onion is the place is that is very much famous in case of Maharashtra, that is Nasik. Clear. So when the price is or demand is very much higher side, they use various mode of transportations. What transportation? As you know, this Nasik is well connected with a place like Odisha through NH53, and they have assigned more number of warehouse facilities where they can maintain the balance between demand and supply. And due to that maintain in between demand and supply, the price will be stabilized. The next part is that if you go to the next one, the system or total approach to the physical distribution management. So what are the systems that directly approach to the physical distribution? The first one is manager have now become more conscious about potential physical distribution management. They recognize the logistical systems that should be designed with the total function in mind. So for example, in case of, if you take the example of Amul, so during 90s, they have only one particular product, that is the powder form of milk. But nowadays, due to diversify in case of product mix, they use different type of logistical systems. In that thing, they will employ your information system in case of logistic operation, for receiving order, for making invoice, provide the payment receipt. And the next part is that their transportation carrier like trucks should be well equipped, because as you know, this food should be preserved. If it is not preserved properly, that should be directly go to the wastage part, and that wastage should be included in case of physical distribution network. The next part is production manager will favor long production run standard product. So whenever you directly involve production manager in case of manufacturing or production activities, they should be go for the long-term production run and standardize the product. That means increase the quality of product. It is possible for all these managers area to appear efficient if they succeed the realizing their individual ability. If the manager is understanding the whole concept of distribution network systems, they must directly focus in efficient and effectively manner to planning for the long-term run. The next is there may be the manager, production manager, as well as the distribution manager or your logistic manager, they must concern or communicate with overall distribution objectives as far as concerned with the senior management. The next part is in case of senior management, they ensure that they must understand the concept and the system of physical distributions. And ideally, the system approach to the physical distribution should be encompass the production planning, purchase, and sale forecasting. So these are the things which is directly involved in case of physical distributions. Then next content, that is the monitoring and controlling of physical distribution management. The most important objective of physical distribution is getting the right goods at the right place at the right time for the least cost. That is the you can say that is the tagline of your distribution or physical distribution management. The most important objective is seem reasonable, although it gives little guidance of specific measure of operational effectiveness. So that is why the senior management must communicate in between the middle level and the worker level also. They also directly involved in case of manufacturing activities to provide the smooth and efficient manner of physical distributions. The next is management need objective of or the criteria that in terms and allow meaningful evaluation of performance. This is the basic monitoring and controlling system by the help of top level of management, and they communicate and coordinate between the middle level of management as well as the floor level. So these are the things. Next part is we will directly go to the small case studies. Here, how the distribution management will be affected. As you know, in case of Umfed and your Milk Moo, they made a particular strategy that is known as milk run distribution strategy. So I just go through the definition. It is the combination of shipment from multiple vendors is close to geographical proximity into one shipment received by the customer, normally done for a defined route on a reoccurring basis. So if you directly go to the example of milk run, in case of traditional run, what will happen? There may be 3 number of trucks should be assigned for a supplier. They supply the raw material to the different manufacturer. So if you go to that side, one large shipment to each manufacturer once a day. But when you employed the milk run distribution strategy, there may be 3 small shipment to each manufacturer 3 times in a day. So due to that strategy, what will happen? They just eliminate the cost of transportation in case of employed only one truck to the different manufacturer. But if you go to the traditional way, there may be only in case of traditional way, they employed 3 number of trucks. So why I'm putting why this companies like Umfed and Milk Moo is observed or implementing those things due to reduce the transportation cost, reduce the distribution operational expenses. So due to that thing, just imagine in case of there may be 20 to 30 number of raw milk suppliers are there, and it is difficult to employ 10 to 20 number of vehicle and 10 to 20 number of drivers, co-pilots, the fuel cost, the maintenance cost of vehicles, and the most important thing is that is the raw material safety. So due to that thing, they directly employed only one vehicle for collection of raw material to the dairy industries. And same thing happened in case of product distribution also. The next part, if you go to next strategy, that is the strategy is known as your hub and spoke distribution strategy. The company like PepsiCo and your Coca-Cola India Private Limited, they employed those things. So as you know, in case of cycles, that a hub is in case of cycle wheel, there is a particular hub, and that hub is well connected to number of spoke. And due to that hub, that if you go to the first figure, more number of shippers are there and more number of consignee is there. They are well connected to different type of hub. So if the shipment is collected from shipper and consolidated at origin hub and transported to destination. So if you go to next figure, in case of Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, both Pepsi and Coke follow the hub and spoke model of distribution in case of rural area. So that is why the one distribution hub is connected to spoke, then that spoke is directly connected to number of village. There is no particular intermediaries there. That hub play a manufacturing unit and spoke play your distribution center, and that distribution center is well connected to different number of villages. That is the concept behind. So if you have any doubt, you can ask anyone. Any doubt? Okay, fine. Utkarsh Raj. Hello. Utkarsh, are you there?
Yes, sir.
No, not Aditya Raj, Utkarsh Raj. Okay, Sagarika, what is the tagline of Flipkart?
सर एक्चुअली उसका बहुत सारा तो था, मैं देखी थी उस दिन, आप पूछे थे उसके बाद मैं देखी थी.
Anyone? What is the tagline of that is Flipkart? The tagline is.
सर अब हार हुई सोगी पूरी.
Okay, fine.
सर
Good,
अब
good.
मतलब
Good. Sivasankar, what is the tagline of PepsiCo?
The Pepsi.
Yes. Okay, that is already written in the slide. Refresh your world.
Like it.
Replace your word.
Refresh your world. For Coke, Aishwarya Mishra, what is the
Open happiness.
that is not your question. Okay, fine. So these are the things that can impact on what sales and promotions. In the next class, we will discuss how the distribution network in case of sales and promotions. And the next one is what kind of value should be added in case of distribution channel that will be enhance your profitability as far as concerned with the supply chain. Clear? So that's all for today. Thank you all.
थैंक यू सर.
Thank you so
Okay,
much. sir.
one more announcement is there. The last date of submission of your